All right, now this is just going to be a quick video on a few Cydia tweaks that I like on my phone. So I'm just going to go through these real quick, try and make this video as short as possible. This is my first video, and I like to keep it simple. So first off, let's just start in the back of the phone and work our way to the settings. Sorry. So first off, I have my 3G, which basically allows you to connect your devices to or make apps think that they are on Wi-Fi. So the reason why you would want this is, say I am on Amazon Instant Video, and Amazon Instant Video requires that you have to be on Wi-Fi to watch a video. Well, if you just check this, it will allow you to watch it off of Wi-Fi, which eats up your data. So, trade-off. But if you have unlimited data, then it's okay. Another big one is playing multiplayer games on your LTE or 3G or Edge, but more so on LTE. At least I would hope so for something like Street Fighter 4. So that's my 3G. If you have used my 3G in the past or 3G and restrictor, then you should be familiar with it. Another one would be Winterboard, which I have not used yet. I do have a couple themes on here, but I've since taken them off. But it basically lets you theme your phone to the way you want, provided you have whatever theme that they have on the Cydia store, I guess you would call it. But as of now, I'm not using any themes whatsoever. I'm not a big theme person, so I'm okay with that. Another one would be iCleaner. And if you were to type this into Cydia, actually it gives a warning saying that it's not supported on this device, which is okay because it just happens to actually work. So, and you can just kind of go through here, check whichever, and it basically, if you've used iCleaner on, or CCleaner, I think it is, on your PC or Mac, it's basically the same thing. It basically cleans up all of the cache files and so on. The My Battery I'll come back to later on, but I will show you the app that it puts on your device also. So inside the settings app, it will actually give you some breakdown information, or you can just look at this and you can get like I can use 3 hours 43 minutes of what I'm doing basically now. If I was to jump into a video game like Street Fighter, it's going to eat that up a lot quicker. I might only be able to get an hour and a half of playing a video game, where if I'm just using it for internet use, like you saw it just now jump to 4 hours 30 minutes, mainly because I'm not actually using this device, just kind of clicking around. But if I was to play videos, something like that, then obviously it will go down. Another one is iFile, and the reason why this is nice is if you need to make some sort of changes. Recently, I tried using a app that was hacked so I could use it for free because I wanted to try it out before I bought it, and it ended up not working, and I still wanted to try it, so I bought it, and the bot version still wasn't working. So I had to go into the etc, well, root etc and then host, and clear out my host file just so I can get my paid version to work, which ended up fixing it. But now I have iFile, which iFile is a great app. It's a good thing to have on your device. That app just happened to be Aterium, I believe, Aternum. Let's go into the settings app finally. So first off is the app that I was talking about, Eternum, and it mainly brings this look to your device, the Apple Watch, which there is a new app out now that looks a little bit cleaner than this, but I'm not completely sold on this device yet, or that app. I thought it'd be cool to try out. It was $3, so it's not that big of a deal. So let's go back in and we'll run through these real quick. You can see I have quite a bit on here, and let me just go through these as fast as possible. Always Green was updated today, and it basically changes your battery icon to a certain color, and you can select them. Before it was always just green. Now they added a section to where you can change which color, and my favorite color being red. I made it red, which as of right now, it kind of feels like my battery's always dead, but I'm sure I'll get over that shortly. Next up is blurred, and basically what blurred does is change your keyboard to always look like this right now. So if I was to go into Safari and type in, you can see my keyboard is no longer a white keyboard, it's now black. And black just looks a little bit crisper to me. So blurred, I think, was one of the first apps that I installed, and I've just it's my favorite tweak so far. CC settings is a setting I can't remember what it was back in the olden days, but they've updated it to where it fits inside of the I guess CC settings, whatever, I don't know what it's called, but you can go through and pick which ones you want on there and slide them on or off by grabbing these little tag things on the side and arrange them the way you want. Next up is Charging Helper Plus. Let me go ahead and plug in my phone and I'll show you exactly what this is. And you can kind of read through these and get an idea of what this app has to offer. So as you can see here, it's just I can go into normal charge mode, full charge mode. Let's go in full charge, whatever. Full charge mode includes a fast charge and trickle charge, and takes more time. So that's a trade-off. So let's just go and go with that. And then if I was to go to my home screen, now it's going to tell me 38% charge and 4 hours, and I believe it was 9 minutes to full charge. So I like knowing that whenever I wake up in the morning, maybe I didn't charge, I woke up in the middle of the night and charged it. I know how much time I have until my phone's fully charged. Say I want to go out for the night, and I have my phone on charge, I can kind of plan accordingly. Like, say it says I need 3 hours to fully charge and I want it to be pretty close, I just plan on leaving in 2 hours. So Charging Helper Plus is a great app to have, and I believe this one is free. Actually, all these are free so far besides Eternum, which in my honest opinion I would stay away from. Flux is another great app. I can't show this on the screen that I have on the computer, but it basically changes the way the coloring is, fades it in a way at nighttime. That way it's not as bright. I like it. It took me a little bit of getting used to, like 3 days, but ultimately I'll now have Flux on my device always. Facebook Messaging Essentials. I basically turned on everything except enable full screen just because I like to have a status bar. The reason why I like to have a status bar is I can click the status bar and it will return to the top. Let me do that again. And if you didn't know that, that's just a quick shortcut. So I like to have a status bar as often as I can if the app provides one. Groovy Lock, I honestly don't even have anything for it, but it basically gives you a different lock screen. More Predict gives you more predictions on your keyboard. The default is 3. And it doesn't look right whenever you have it set past that. So I tend to ignore using 4 or 5, only because it looks like blank spots and it doesn't look right. Maybe in the future they'll update it and it will be more sensitive to predicting. As of right now, that's what I've heard the developers are working towards. But right now what I'm using is having the, if I can do the toggle, is changing the spacer all the way to 0, mainly because it looks a little bit cleaner. Next up is multi-icon mover, and this is something that's been in iOS history since like iOS 4 or something. Mainly what this does is once you get your icons into a jiggle state, you can select a bunch of them and go to another screen and then hit the home screen again, or home button, and it brings them all to that screen. If you want to move them back, same thing. You can see a little check mark and put them back. And this helps on organizing your device. And you can move folders, but I don't use folders. So another great app is My Bias. If you're a big camera user, then this would be a big one for you. So if you open up your camera app, so let me focus on my keyboard, and say it's bright out and I need to bring down the brightness, I can just pull down this tab. I'm looking at my computer screen as I'm doing this, and this is probably not the way to do it. But yeah, so you get the idea, and then you can lock it. It's just a lot of really great things with this app. And I'm not a big camera person, but it's nice to have a few more options on your list. No slow animations basically makes your device feel snappier. So let me close out of this and open it back up. Now let me disable it, and you see how much slower it feels. So I like to use it. I don't like to have it on the full fastness because I want some animation. It makes it look cleaner, in my opinion. So just if it is faster at doing so, then I like it that much more. This is an app that just recently came out, Pikes. I hope I'm spelling that right. And basically, you can have different animations for whenever you go into the multitask. Mine is bounce from the bottom. You can also have flip vertically. Let's go back. Well, I think it glitched out, but let's try that again. Okay, yeah. I've tried them all, and I like this one the best, so I tend to use it. Sleek Code basically just gives you a few different tweaks on your lock screen, make it look cleaner, and then you can also make it a little bit more secure by getting rid of your key rings whenever you go to punch in your password. That way people don't look and the keys stay lit as you're typing. So this is kind of a nice app if you want to be a little bit more secure if you have nosy friends. Next up is Status HD. And if you look at the top of my device where it says 325, and if I turn up the volume, that's where the volume now lays. And this works inside of video games also. Let me open up Street Fighter, and you can see it will pull down a menu. So I like Status HD too. It just recently got updated for iOS 8, and it's been working flawlessly. Prior to it being updated to iOS 8, a lot of times Facebook, anytime you tried watching videos in Facebook, it would lock up and you'd have to close out the app, or the app would close for you. Next is Tether Me. Basically, it brings tethering to all devices, whether your cell phone plan has that enabled, like your AT&T and Verizon or T-Mobile, whenever you have a set number of data per month. So like say you're paying for 5 gigabytes of data per month, most likely your tethering is automatically turned on your device. But on plans that have unlimited, like Verizon's or AT&T who got grandfathered in, or Sprint's, that's actually turned off. So Tether Me actually will turn that on. So I believe this is a $3 app, well worth it. And even if you use it a couple times, it's, in my opinion, is a worthwhile app. Plus, you'll get to keep it forever. Next is Virtual Home, and this one isn't actually for iOS 8. Some things work, but mostly it's buggy. I need to uninstall it. They have a new version out that's Virtual Home 8, I believe, or Virtual Home 2. If you were to just type in Virtual Home, you'll get it, and it is actually a paid app. Next is YouTuber, and it basically lets you install or download YouTube videos. And I don't know why it says YouTube's not installed whenever it clearly is right here. But everything seems to work for me, so I like it. And It helps whenever say I'm at an airport and I want to have a few videos to watch. I'll download maybe Painkiller already and watch it on the plane. Next is Zeppelin, and I don't use any themes. I like to have a minimalistic uh, device, so I just turn my carrier to off. And that's everything that I have so far. And I plan on making more of these in the future, but I wanted to go over everything that I have on my device now. And I may go over some of the apps that I have on my device that aren't jailbroken device apps. So if you want, go ahead and just subscribe, and I plan on making more of these. But the future videos will be a lot shorter. I wanted to go over all the apps, which, as you can tell, are tweaks. I have quite a bit, and I wanted to give a quick rundown of everything that I have. So thanks for watching, everyone, and hope that this was a good video on teaching you a few things. We'll see ya.